Hello, my name's Samantha and this is day 14 of my Christmas in July vlogs. This is attempt number 5 at starting this vlog because I've got a crazy dog. But she's now in her cage, hopefully not going to be too annoying. I was trying to have her out for the video and she was doing the thing where she eats her bone but she likes to sit on my lap, so it wasn't great. And then when I told her she couldn't sit on my lap, she started running all over the place. The dog has issues. She thinks she's the size of a chihuahua, but no. Anyway, how are you? It has been absolutely miserable here today. It's been raining all day. We had like thunderstorms for a few days, but it was still really warm and the rain just like came and went, and then it was sunny in between. But today it's just been so overcast all day. I had to have the lights on earlier because I couldn't see anything. I was trying to read and yeah, I couldn't see what I was reading because it was so dark. Anyway, today's been another like run around and not get anything done day. But I do have a few things to show you. So I will start off with the blanket. Now this is my HoHoHo blanket, which is a pattern by Rosina Plain. It was a cowl last year. This is my month-long project. I'm doing 8 rows on this every day because it was a new type of crochet that I learned. It was a new skill. It's called overlay mosaic crochet. I've not really like gone into much detail about this, but it's overlay mosaic crochet, and it was the first time I'd ever done it. And I bought this as a cowl at Christmas time. I bought the colour pack for it from Wool Warehouse and then never actually got around to doing it. And then it sat there for 6 months because I was feeling a little intimidated because I've never done it before. And I didn't have the brain space to like sit down and learn a new thing. I still don't have the brain space to sit down and learn a new thing, as is evident by the red stripe across the middle of my holly berries. Holly leaves. The berries are supposed to be red, the leaves are not. So this is it. We start off down here with the Santas and then move up here into whatever those green things are. And the snowflake. I love those snowflakes. Those snowflakes look amazing. And then this is meant to be holly, but I apparently can't read, and so we have holly with a pink stripe through it. And this is half a HoHoHo. It's not going to be a massive blanket. It's going to have a border on, so it'll probably come out of it there somewhere. So it's not going to be huge, but I am going to be using it as a decorative blanket at Christmas time. And if anybody touches it after all this work that I've put in, I'm not going to be happy. I'm going to ban everybody from it. I can guarantee at Christmas time my 8-year-old will be under this blanket. He loves his crochet blankets. My 11-year-old loves his crochet blankets as well, but he prefers quilts. So he tends to snuggle up under the quilts that I've made him, while the 8-year-old tends to, I think it's because he likes fiddling with things, and crochet is more tactile when it comes to having holes to put your fingers through and stuff like that. So this is what it looks like on the back. It's not quite double layered, but because it's all either front post or back post, no it's not. It's all in the front loop or in the back loop. It gives it a really nice texture and some nice squish. You only ever work one colour per row, which is why we have the fringe. Because you work your row and then cut it at the end, and then there's an envelope border that you do that will enclose all of these, so you don't have to sew in your ends, which is why they're that length. Because if you're sewing in ends, they need to be longer than that. That's something I learned quite quickly when I learned to crochet. So yeah, there we go. I'm doing 8 rows a day on it, and that should give me enough time to have it finished by the end of the month. And it makes it seem way less intimidating. So here is my little bag here. We've got the main colour is white. It's all Stylecraft Special DK. You can use whatever you want for it. This is just the colour pack that I happened to get. You can do, just pick 2 colours for it and just do like a 2-tone one. You can do every stripe a different colour. You can do every stripe, all the colours that you want. It's entirely up to you. It's a great stash buster actually. For that amount that I've done there, I've just started on the second ball of the main colour. So I think about that, maybe that much of the blanket into the second ball of the white. So it doesn't actually take that much. So we've got white is the main colour, fuchsia pink, no, fuchsia purple, aspen and empire. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. That's it in the original colours. So I'm halfway through this section just now. There are also in the pattern stitch counts for placemats and a table runner. That's it in browns. This is the one that I'm doing. I'm sure there was one somewhere as well. There's one done in 2 colours and the darker colour is just a variegated. That looks really nice as well. So yeah, that's a nice picture of the border that will be going on it. So it's a fairly decent border, but it's again the overlay mosaic crochet for it. I mean, you could just do a single crochet border if you don't want to do any more overlay. You could literally just crochet it out, fold it over and then attach it on the other side. Or like this one, it looks like you do 2 panels and then join them at the top so everything's enclosed that way. So yeah, that's my blanket. Oh, I think yesterday was the first time that I've not showed the blanket. And it felt a bit weird, I'm not going to lie. Strange. The other things that I did, so I'm waffling. So yesterday, I showed you that I had made this, the little star, the pink around it. And I had started making this one, so I finished this one off. And this is exactly the same pattern, but this one was done with a 2.5mm hook. And this one was done with a 2. So whenever you're doing things and you think it's only half a size, it won't make that much difference. That's how much difference it makes on something that tiny. That's why you always do gauge swatches, because you know, half a hook size, and that, can you imagine that over the course of a load of stitches? Yeah, that's not good. But this was nice, super quick little easy pattern. You make the 2 sides and then seam them together with your outside colour. I'm going to be making a load of these for the shop and selling them in sets, I think. It's from this little leaflet from Simply Crochet, issue 75-76. It says on the back there. Is that focusing? There you go. I did have a quick look and I didn't see anywhere where you could get this, but I should check on Readly actually, because it used to be on Readly, if there was a supplement that came with it, came with the magazine you were looking at, you would also get the supplement. So you might get it on Readly, or I don't know what other apps there are. I use Readly. I haven't checked though, but I think I'm probably going to do, oh, I'll show you the main picture in the front. I think I'm probably going to do all of these, and then I'll do them for the shop and just sell them in sets of mixed ones or sets of single ones, and see what people prefer. So yeah, I used Drop Saffron in colour, there we go, Drop Saffron in colour 10. That's not going to focus. And it's a 10. I know it's not focusing. And this again is Drop Saffron, and this is in colour 2. Will this one focus? Oh, there we go. So this one's colour 2 and drop saffron. It's really nice. It's a 4-ply cotton and it's so nice and soft. There we go. See if it'll... There you are. So yeah, and I say I used a 2.5mm hook for the bigger one, and then I thought this, I mean, it's stiff enough that I don't think I'm going to bother starching it or anything, because I've given it a little iron and it seems to be sitting nice now. But I think I'd prefer the smaller one. So yeah, I made them. I mean, these are mine. I'm going to keep these ones for my tree. But I'm going to make a few of them up with all the different patterns out the book, I think. Because they're just nice, easy little things, and they don't take up loads of yarn and they don't take up loads of space. So they are very pretty. I also worked a little bit on this. Where's my... There we go. So I've only done this bit, so it's only been 1, 2, 3, 4. I've only done like 5 rows on it. But it's starting to grow a little bit. Oh, itchy nose. Oh dear. We're in a bit of a tangle down here. It's a textured shawl on the front, and on the back it's just nice and flat. It's a pattern by Fiberflux. It's called the Snow Cone Shawl, because I'm in the UK and we don't use the phrase snow cone. It's only really something I've seen on the telly, and I just heard the word snow and associated it with Christmas, and it wasn't until I'd already decided I was making it, watched the video and had started crocheting it, that I thought, a snow cone is not a winter thing, is it? It's a summer thing. But I'm sticking with my original thing. It's a nice, easy, mindless project. Fiberflux always does excellent tutorial videos. If you go over to, it'll be linked down below. If you go over to her channel, she's got loads of different videos for loads of different things, and she explains things really well. She doesn't assume that you know what you're doing with anything, which normally it's hard to explain. Like, I'm a very experienced crocheter, so normally I don't watch videos because they tend to spend a long time going through each individual stitch, and while she does go through each individual stitch, she doesn't do it in a big lengthy way, so it's not tedious to watch if you're an experienced crocheter. So it's well worth watching, and you can always like skip past the bits. You can obviously use any yarn and hook and whatever. I'm using DK yarn and a 5.5mm hook for this, because she used a worsted weight. I think she used Karen Ombre Cakes, which is a worsted, but I'm pretty sure that's quite like a chunky worsted, like a beefy worsted weight. And she uses a 6mm, possibly. I don't know, you'll need to watch the video. She uses a hook bigger than is recommended anyway. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, I've got this like itch on my nose now. So she uses a bigger hook for it to get the drape, and that's what I'm doing with this. The yarn I'm using was a Mystery DK yarn, which I've already made 2 blankets out of. I have 2 balls of it left, so I'm just going to keep going until it's finished. And that's all the colours that's in the ball. It's nice, it's like, it reminds me of mint chocolate ice cream, so I like it. And I've got it on my little wool Jeanie, which is looking a bit worse for wear at the minute, because the dog decided to play with it earlier because she was having a little zoomy moment, and because it spins. The wool Jeanie is brilliant, right? If you haven't seen one of these before, right? It's just this little sand like this, and in that bit there's a magnet, and in that bit there's a magnet. You see, it's like a little pointed kind of magnet. Is that going to focus? Right, so it sits on there, and just as you're knitting or crocheting, it just pulls it off there, and it's so good. I think mine was $12.99 on Amazon. If I can remember, I'll link that below as well. And, oh my god, my nose! You know how they say that if like your nose is really itchy, I mean this obviously doesn't count for fibre artists because we are always constantly surrounded by some kind of fluff, but they say that if your nose is itchy it means you're going to get in an argument with somebody. I think it's because it's really irritating having an itchy nose and it just puts you in a bad mood. So and I think that's the theory behind that one. Yeah. Anyway, the last thing that I've got to show you, I think, very briefly, I will show you, I found some of this in the cupboard, so it's just like oatmeal Ada. I'm going to restart my Santa on a sheep on this stuff. I don't know how old this stuff is. There's a good chance it's older than me. So I'm going to use it and have a Santa on a sheep on it. Oh, I just thought it was a nice sort of colour for it, because it's a fairly primitive kind of design. So yeah, the last thing is not a primitive design. I decided I wanted to do some more embroidery, but I decided I wanted to do some mindless embroidery, so I wanted one colour, and I thought, you know what, I'll do a bit of red work. I was looking at some Mandy Shaw's red work stuff on, who was it now? Somebody I was watching on YouTube had been doing some red work, and I thought, oh, I've not done that for ages, quite fancy some of that. So this is what I'm doing. I'll show you the actual pattern that I'm using, because you can't really see it on there. So you get these on Amazon. You might be able to get them other places. I got mine on Amazon. And they're just little things there. If you watched the earlier vlogs, I think I had this on my first, it was either my intro video or it might be my first video where I showed these. They're maybe £5-6 each on Amazon, and that's all the patterns that you get. And you literally, you take this, you get a hot iron. Turns out you have to have a hot iron because I had my iron turned down. So it wasn't like super low, but I'd had it turned down for something I was ironing earlier. And I'm on that and I'm ironing and I just wasn't doing anything. Make sure you switch your steam off as well. That's another thing. And if you like your ironing board cover looking the way that it is, put your fabric on a towel that you don't care about first before you iron this, because it can go through. It's not been so bad with these ones, but I've had other ones before where they go all the way through. So my ironing board cover, I have a cactus pattern that says don't be a prick on it. So now my ironing board cover has the words don't be a prick written on it, which, you know, is good life advice for anybody. So I've got the snowman. This is a snowman that I'm doing, and I am literally just doing a split stitch red work. This is how it comes up. I just did it super light. I'm not going to be filling it in, just the whole thing is going to be red. I am using, I found this skein of anchor thread. Well, it's a partial skein of anchor thread in my random scrappy thread box. So I'm just going to use that. It's nice bright red. It's probably super old looking at it. I think it's colour number 700, but that doesn't mean anything because this is a very, very old skein. They might have changed and said, I don't buy anchor threads. I think I must have got this as part of something else, because I used to buy a lot of like D-stash big, oh, what are they called? When you buy lots of things at once, and like a bundle type thing. I used to buy a lot of them, so I've got so much randomness, honestly. But it's nice because then you also get things that you would never expect. Like, I bought... Lilith! Quiet! I bought a random cross-stitch bundle of patterns, and within that, there's a cross-stitch pattern like... Sorry. Second. Okay, sorry. The dog had dropped her toy out of her crate because it got quite wide bars in it. And she was very upset about the fact she didn't have her toy anymore. Let's see. Yeah, there's a Mirabelle pattern that's quite rare called Sleeping Beauty, and obviously the person destashing it didn't know what they were giving away, and I ended up with that, so that was quite nice. I've had loads of just random stuff, but anyway, the dog is being very, very annoying again. And I think that's me anyway. I think I've showed you everything. So a quick check. Yeah, I think I've showed you everything. We're at 20 minutes, so I'm going to go and I will see you tomorrow. I've lost my clicker as well. I think the dog might have eaten it. I don't know. Right, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.